Meghan Markle here.
Today is September 29, 2025. It is 1 p.m. I'm in the middle of editing something I recorded like around 5 a.m. this morning. But the audio is horrible. I feel bad about it. I forgot to press something on my microphone and it's hard to really listen to it. I put it as high as I can so you could hear it. And I manipulate a couple things to get the sound, the volume high. But I've said some stuff. I don't want to record it over again. But I'll try to make the best of it. I got to 6 minutes and then I got... I'm a bit frustrated. I need to put these in there. But I'm curious to see what's going on Twitter. So I don't think I'm going to put this video on this channel here. I'm going to put it on APTS Sussex. I'm going to put it over here. Alright, so if you haven't subscribed to both of my channels, please take a moment to subscribe. Alright, so let's go on X. I just put this on the list, but it's further down. Probably the last tweet. I think the squad was still talking about the leaks. So let's see what's going on here. First tweet. Poor deprived Willy. Due to a rageful episode, William has thoughtlessly removed his mask, and what's been beneath is an indecent, divisive narcissist whose fragility is dangerous. Even the Daily Mail is pointing out his lies. He will put the mask back on, but he's exposed. Alright, let's see here. The squad took screenshots. That's from the Daily Mail. But within hours of the Mail on Sunday publishing its story, insiders began briefing journalists that Harry will never be allowed to return as a half-in, half-out working royal, despite such a claim not appearing in this newspaper's report. This is why I keep on saying it's William who kicked him out, and he's still sticking with that. And Harry already said he's not coming back. Anderson Cooper already asked him that question. He didn't even take a second to think about it. He was like, no.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family? No.
And I think what's going on here, the next lawsuit that's coming on next year, I think there's gonna be a lot that's gonna be revealed. Maybe, I don't know, William might be his name might pop up in the discovery, so he's running scared. I don't know why he's doing some of the things that he's doing instead of minding his own business and just pretend. Who cares if people are not coming to greet you and you're not getting all this adoration? Just pretend you're doing something. But wishful thinking. People like me, that's what I will do. I'll be like, who cares if people are not showing up? I'm getting millions every year. All I have to do is show up for a few hours and then boom, get millions. But anyway, let's continue. In a waspish comment about the significance of the Duke's meeting with Charles, one unnamed source suggested Dawes and Team Harry had mistaken a brief tea and a slice of cake for a treaty of Versailles. Where is it? Source? Unnamed source suggests. From where is that? One unnamed source suggests Dawes Team and Team Harry. This is not from Team Harry. People from Harry's team will never talk. On Saturday, in a further apparent escalation, the Sun newspaper claimed that Prince Harry's meeting with his father had been distinctly formal and that the Duke had later described the meeting as very official, like an official visit. This is typical, okay? This is typical. So this is not new. They're making some of these are made up things, All right, they made it up, and then and they're hoping someone will, or either from William's team or Harry's team or something, to come and say something. It cited insiders claiming that the awkward exchange was carried out in a similar style to that of dignitaries visiting royal residences. The newspaper pointedly reported that Charles's meeting with his son was his shortest of the day and claimed there were no plans for father and son to be seen together in public. When the newspaper... When did they write this? Because we didn't see it. This is already... Harry and Charles meeting already passed. So this is extra because we didn't see them come out anyway together. So this is something they made up too. When the newspaper declined to retract the quotes on Saturday, the Duke's spokesman issued a stinging statement saying recent reporting of the Duke's view of the tone of the meeting is categorically false. Let me go back. Let me see if I see the date. Okay, they didn't put the date. That's the one I just read. The quote attributed to him are pure invention fed, one can only assume, by sources intent on sabotaging any reconciliation between father and son. The spokesman also claimed that, presumably, those same sources had inaccurately told the son that Harry had handed his father a framed photograph of himself with wife Meghan and their children Archie, 6, and little Bet 4 to mark the reunion. The monarch was said to have given his younger son an early birthday present 6 days ahead of his 41st birthday. The spokesperson said, quote, while we will have preferred such detail to remain private for the sake of clarity, we can confirm that a framed photograph was handed over. However, the image did not contain the Duke and Duchess. But the king still remained open for another private meeting next time Harry is in London. During this recent visit, the Duke carried out a swath of visits to charity events in Nottingham and London before meeting with his father for afternoon tea. One of the things that I said, the reason, possibly tactically, that Harry made the meeting in between meeting with his father and between other events that he had to do. That way, if Charles planned on doing something stupid, alright, so they'll know the next event that he was gonna participate in, they'll be waiting for him. So the last place that Harry came from, if they didn't see Harry, they'll know Harry was meeting his father. Unlike if it was at the end of his entire meeting, he finished on all of his engagement, the well child, the thing with Nottingham. He finished all of that, and then he was gonna go home right after. Then if people don't see him, nobody will know when he left. But he set the meeting between his father and between engagement, where he had to meet different people. And later on we find out that he went to see what's this photographer, oh my god, Miss and Harriman's exhibit kind of thing. I don't know in between where, but there was one image I saw. I think that's when he was gonna go to the Nottingham thing, and I saw an image, and then Miss and Harriman was in the background, and I pointed out, oh, he's there. And then weeks later, the picture came out that Harry went to see his work. Alright, let's continue. A spokesman for Harry previously told the Sun the trip back was about focusing on his patronages and supporting his good causes while also having time to catch up with family and friends. That is true. Okay, let's see. The British royal family can put Jack back in the box. Willy has a school loose since birth. A school loose since birth. With proper parenting, he might have learned to mimic proper behavior. Unfortunately, Charles was busy being a CAD, C-A-D, to be a proper father. And the thing is that Harry is literally telling them how to do the proper engagement.
Because to be role models, or the role models that each of you are, takes strength and it takes courage. When I talk to my son Archie about what he wants to be when he grows up, some days it's an astronaut, other days it's a pilot, a helicopter pilot, obviously. Or Quasi from Octonauts. If If you're laughing, then you've seen it. But what I remind him is that no matter what you want to be when you grow up, it's your character that matters most. The uniform you've been wearing this past week will give you a new story to tell. And for others, it may give your old uniform new meaning. But I'm here to remind you that after all this, you don't need to rely on a uniform, nor should you ever feel lost without one.
But the thing he's copying are the exterior things. Oh, someone's just sent me a message. Let me pause and see if it's something I should add. Well, the person was responding to something a message, but nothing new. But anyway, that's this. What was I saying? Oh, Harry have said in many different places how the royal family can easily copy things. He said them in speeches, and the Invictus, things like that, how you could do certain things, but instead the royal family are just copying the exterior, specifically William carrying a bag because Harry carry a bag, clothes. It's just ridiculous. All right, let's finish this. And a Wasp's comment: who did Harry call a wasp? I think the Daily Mail is identifying their source. They are indeed. He's already sent out his trolls at the Daily Fair to gaslight Harry, debunking the Courtiers sabotaging. He's a sore loser. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. I don't know. Next tweet. Alright, so there's this. New: the palace is understood to be saddened and perplexed by the latest accusation from the Duke of Sussex, in which he suggested that sources close to the king have attempted to sabotage his fragile reconciliation with the king. Report here. That's from the Time. I'm not gonna read it, I just wanna look. Is that something that I've already put in one of my videos? Translation: the palace is saddened that figures within the royal family have once again leaked lying narrative about Harry, and instead of keeping quiet about it, he has called out their lies and corrected the narrative. So Kate Menzies embarked on some gaslighting for them. And the thing is that Charles was the beginning, was the starter of all these things, being cozy up with the tabloid. So now he can't stop it. It's gonna get worse when it's William's turn. There's 12 comment under it here. The only British royal family relative lying about this Howard Howell is, was it D-List Howard Howell himself? Oh, please. Harry. But anyway, this is an idiot anyway. Let's forget about this. It's not an accusation if it's true, and it was made crystal clear this weekend that there are people looking to derail peace talks by making it seem as if Harry is the one leaking private details about the meeting. Funny how William met up with Charles in Scotland, and days later William's resident, there's the B word, at the Sun got his exclusive. These people are stupid. Plain brilliant. Yeah, they are. They got caught and now once again trying to pin the blame on Harry. F them all. Tell Charles to man the F up and get his house in order. What a pathetic king. He truly deserves that psychopath William as his heir. Well, he trained him. I just can't believe how I stumbled on that article. I was looking for something. I even forgot what I was searching for. And I stumbled on that particular article. And once I started reading the article, all I was seeing names and names. I was like, what the hell is that? And then it clicked. I was like, oh my God, he's training him to be cozy up with the tabloid. That was the article. I think it was dated 2001. I think William was like 18 or 19 or something. He was starting to ease him up to cozy up with the tabloid. So there he is. He got what he deserved. Alright, senior palace source, royal insider, palace source, royal aide. Alright, whatever is here, that's it. It looks like the palace strategy to block reconciliation between the king and his son is working. The plan leak on Harry. When Harry clears up story, blame Harry and use it as an excuse to deny any further reconciliation effort. I didn't think of it that way. Let's see here. There's 5 comment here. If they wanted to block reconciliation, then why allow a team meeting in the first place? That makes no sense. There's that. Laugh. Just admit your Harry is desperate for Harry already said he's not gonna come back. He's not desperate.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family?
But I think it's mostly for the kids to have some sort of the same way he wanted the kids to meet his grandmother. Harry's not desperate. He's fine. The palace seems to rely on notion that they have an audience that will lap up anything they say. This is embarrassing. When Charles is gone, you'll be left with useless William and boring Kate, and the monarchy will continue to crumble. You'll have made up news, and Harry then accuse anyone close to the king. Here comes one of the invisible agent UK media, royal rats, twisting things and gaslight Prince Harry again to favor her boss for a penny. There's the puke here. What a sad, disgraceful comment from a stupid UK fake journalist that never tells the news but creates fake news. UK media never learns. I mean, I guess, if they continue the way that they been, so it seems like they're on point. It's just that we don't know their objective. What Harry needs to do is just ignore them. Ignore them. And then keep an eye, whatever he needs to do with his father, just focus on that. Next tweet. When Harry met Charles, Tom Sykes predicted there would be a furious backlash from William and the UK press. The real question is, why are William and his henchmen so invested in toxicity? I don't know. 42 seconds.
Yeah, I think there is a real, people obviously are, lots of people who just see this as like a very sad family situation. I think will be really happy that there is a breakthrough on the personal level. But I do not underestimate the backlash that is going to come to this in the UK press. There are a lot of people who will see Harry as having ulterior motives, who will see Charles as being weak for having agreed to meet him. And one of those people, I'm afraid to say, is Prince William. I think there is
It's starting all over. 1. William hates Harry and wants him to be ostracized for life. 2. The media wants the feud to keep going because it's all they have left to talk about that brings them clicks. Yeah, not a good look for any of them. That's that. I wish he will give us an example of what he means by Harry's ulterior motive. If you think Harry is seeking improved relationship with his sick father is a bad thing, then you are the problem. And I am not fooled by the some people will think, Jack, you vote that are just sick. It's so bizarre. Alright, whatever is here. Bottom. Oh my god, that's long. Okay, bottom up. There are historical precedent on this. Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau, Isaac and Ishmael, David and Saul, who was not his brother, but he did go crazy with jealousy of how beloved David was when he was a king and David was only a soldier. Envy of attention, pure and simple. Evil begets evil. Scared that Harry and Meghan will come back and make him king completely invisible. Therefore, they will have to actually try and do work to get any traction. Their toxicity, he's putting that much energy in putting this nonsense out there. Why can't he put the same energy in doing work? Oh my god. Each time I think of it this way, I blame the UK for allowing these idiots to stay in the position and giving them the tax money. Because if they had to really work to make their own money, the amount of time they're wasting, time is money. The money that they're using to put this nonsense out there, they could use it on something better. The toxicity is based on Prince Harry having always been more popular than William since childhood. When Prince Harry left, they really thought that together with the UK racist press, they will erase his popularity, and now they realize he's even more popular and it's killing them. That too. All the money in the world and it's still, look at me, I'm more important. It's not a sad family. It's a sad individual who have nothing better to do than cry that they aren't the center of attention. Maybe William should try out for the women's rugby team. He'll get the attention and a few knocks in the skull. But put some sense into his head. Alright, next tweet. There's a screenshot from the next tweet is gonna be a screenshot, and then the next tweet after this is the article. I'm not gonna read it, but it's more people talking about it. So I decided to put the screenshot because I will read the screenshot, but I'm not gonna read the article. This is a fantastic synopsis on William. It's a great read. Prince William, the hollow heir built by palace infantilization. Okay, 3 minutes, 1 day ago. So that was, well, it's a screenshot, so I don't have the actual date. Wrapped in cotton wool, propped up by Harry's hard work, and paired with a vacuous partner, William now blames Platt for his own mediocrity. Now, as Harry thrives independently, William has been left exposed. The infantilization that once shielded him has hollowed him out. Instead of developing resilience or vision, he leans into paranoia and blame shifting. Remember what he called his mom?
It brings indescribable sadness to know that the BBC's failures contributed significantly to her fear, paranoia, and isolation that I remember from those final years with her.
Conspiracies are easier than self-reflection, victimhood more comforting than accountability, and the latest from his cheerleaders is downright comical. Commentators like Richard Eden and Angela Levine peddling the fantasy that there's a plot to sideline William entirely and reinstate Harry and Meghan. What the hell? Is that what's going on in his head?
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family? No.
Even though Harry already said he's not coming back, what the hell is wrong with them? Harry literally said he's not coming back, but they rather listen to other people who saying nonsense, and then he's driving himself crazy. Oh my God. And hopes of making them king and queen. What? Don't they understand their own rules? There is a, how do you call this? Succession. What is wrong with these people? Someone must be putting nonsense in his head. And hopes of making them king and queen, it's a delusional as it is revealing a tactic admission of just how unimpressive William looks on his own, and further reveal how much recent reconciliation between Harry and his father has triggered royalists. Oh my lord. Could marrying the right partner have mitigate some of that? Possibly, but William chose someone who mirrors rather than challenges his shortcomings. Kate is good at smiling for the cameras. Remember how I said there's a video I literally did that they got what they wanted. This is what they want. Because if it was someone like Meghan he will think that that particular person will trying to overshadow him. Look what Princess Diana, perfect example.
One of the reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. Yeah. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned, mute woman.
These people will never happy. Kate is good at smiling for the cameras, but she's also often described as dull, lacking depth, and as disinterested and hard work as her husband. The palace once spun the narrative that Harry was their third wheel, when in truth, William and Kate were always riding as Harry's second and third wheels. Without him, their lack of spark and initiative has only become more glaring. Yeah, like I was saying, well, I didn't say it in this video, in past videos where I've said that everything from Royal Foundation, Invictus, all the things that they were creating and they were getting praise for, okay, I say it was Harry's brainchild. It was his work. They just put the other one's name under it. And they're so stupid they didn't see that Harry has been doing the thing, but yet they push him out. Well, I guess a blessing in disguise. Did his psychiatrist write this? Damn, it's almost too correct. Great read and very true. You know, I'll take a screenshot, put it on my community board for you guys. Excellent article, 100% spot on. Really, Princess Kate is vacuous, American here, so I don't understand all the intricacies and nuances of your royalty. So asking out of curiosity, not negativity. What has Harry achieved since he left the royal family? Tell all books, documentaries, failed podcasts. What? Where did Harry do a podcast? He just spent the last week briefing the press on his visit with his father. Okay, if this is what they think, well, how come the other brother don't do at least what they claim is mediocre at what Harry's doing? Let's hear 5 comments here. How about a $1.1 million to BBC children in need out of his own fell pocket, no less? Do try to keep up. Peace, that's what. And a semblance of normality. Was it Charles' bookmark Queen's mother, Queen Prince Philip and Anne? Queen sent Charles to join Air Force instead, getting married to Camilla. We will never see William and Harry and Diana still be alive if only Queen didn't send Charles away. Let me get the thing regarding travelers. This is what I want to look for. Travelers. Let's listen.
Travelist will be in New York for Climate Week, celebrating our 5th anniversary. Since we launched in 2019, we have brought together 11 of the world's biggest and often competing travel and technology brands to work together on bringing sustainable tourism to the mainstream. Today, we are a $3 trillion coalition, guided by our independent advisory group of world-renowned sustainability academics and experts. We're really looking forward to being in New York with our founder, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, to celebrate everything that we have achieved together so far and sharing our vision for what's to come next.
Alright, so let me get the link. Go back to this. Oh, I forgot to read it. Let me pause it. In case you were not aware of... Oh, shit. I spelled wrong. This. Prince Harry created it. By the way, it's worth $3 trillion. Let's put the correction here. This. I corrected here. What else do I... let's get out of there. Out. Let me black it too, because things like that I don't want to see. Okay, Willy is responsible for his own downfall. That is true. I believe that too. He can't mind his own business. He doesn't know his privilege. Brilliant synopsis. I will read the whole lot later. The very real danger present is that they see Harry and Meghan as threat, not allies. Same as for Diana. My opinion, I think that's what it is always to destroy anyone more popular than monarch or heir. They don't know how to be authentically themselves. We just need to send prayers, protection, and everything. These people are freaking evil. They do not want to do anything significant, but they want to take credit for everything. For them to keep on saying they're smarter, they create, they did all of this, but the majority of their time is spent on destroying. How could you spend so much time of destroying? How do you create? If you see what's happening in the Middle East, it's unbelievable. A few minutes ago, I was watching a video. What Israel, Jew Israel is saying about African American. Because now the truth is coming out that the true Jews are not them. They stole the identity of the real Jew and they pretend they are, and then you see the freaking disaster they create in the Middle East. Oh my God. God help us. Alright, let me read these two and then that's it. Harry is still minding his Montecito business, just doing what he does best. He cannot help it that his absence from the royal family is highlighting William's mediocrity and is not wasting his time to find ways to sabotage Willy. He and his insecurities are doing a great job all by himself. We have always known what William Wells is a failure at everything except villain. He's not a failure at being a villain because he is a villain. Alright. This one is making reference to the article. I'll click on it to leave the link for you guys. Okay. That screenshot that I just read on the previous tweet is from this. Alright. But I'll leave the link for you. Alright. Harry's initiatives were often repackaged as joint project, with William's name pushed to the front. The result, a future king conditioned to believe that credit will come without effort. You see how upset he was when Harry had already got the green light from the board members about Invictus, and then when Harry went to tell him he's gonna create Invictus, he was pissed.
First step would be pitching the Royal Foundation board, which oversaw my charitable projects and Willy's and Kate's. It was our foundation, so I told myself, no problem. Also, the calendar was on my side. This was early summer 2013. Willy and Kate, weeks from having their first child, were going to be out of commission for a while. The foundation, therefore, didn't have any projects in the pipeline. Its roughly £7 million was just sitting there, doing nothing. And if these international warrior games worked, they'd enhance the foundation's profile, which would energize donors and replenish the foundation's accounts many times over. There'd be that much more to go around when Willy and Kate came back full-time, so I was feeling supremely confident in the days leading up to my pitch. But when the actual day came, not so much. I realized how badly I wanted this for the soldiers and their families, and if I'm being honest, for myself. And this sudden attack of nerves kept me from being at my best. Still, I got through it, and the board said yes. Thrilled, I reached out to Willy, expecting him to be thrilled as well. He was sorely irritated. He wished I'd run all this by him first. My assumption, I said, was that other people had done so. He complained that I'd be using up all the funds in the Royal Foundation. That's absurd, I spluttered. I was told only a £500,000 grant would be needed to get the games going, a fraction of the foundation's money. Besides, it was coming from the Endeavour Fund, an arm of the foundation I'd created specifically for veterans recovery. The rest would come from donors and sponsors. What was going on here, I wondered. Then I realized, my God, sibling rivalry. I put a hand over my eyes. Had we not got past this yet? The whole heir versus spare thing? Wasn't it a bit late in the day for that tired childhood dynamic? But even if it wasn't, even if Willy insisted on being competitive, on turning our brotherhood into some kind of private Olympiad, hadn't he built up an insurmountable lead? He was married, with a baby on the way, while I was eating takeaway alone over the sink. Pa's sink. I still lived with Pa. Game over, man. You win.
I truly believe if Harry had went to him first, to Williams first, instead of the board members, William will tell him no, will make it seem like it's a bad idea, and then he will take the idea and take it to the board members, okay, to make it seem like it's his own. Now, knowing how Harry is, Harry will probably just shut his mouth and help him develop it, and then William would have got all the credit. I truly believe this what would have happened. But Harry knows these people too well. And Harry cares about the people, especially visually. I'm telling you, God is working in a way in Harry to make him come up with those ideas in a special way. Because remember, Harry grew up in that institution. He knows their personalities in front and behind the scene. Okay? So, in order for Harry to say, okay, I have this idea. Remember, he took it from the US, the Warriors game and all of that. That idea came to him. Now, when he put one and one together, seeing when he was leaving Afghanistan, seeing the body on the helicopter with him, and then seeing the game in the United States, and he put one and one together, and he wanted that to be a serious thing. Okay? So when he put one and one together, which will equal to 2, instead of going to William, which will mean he will do nothing with it, he went straight to the board member, so they know it's Harry who came up with the idea. And then we could also add another one to it. 1 + 1 + 1 = 3, where he created the Endeavour Fund from the beginning. Okay, he was like, this is for the vets. Anything that we're gonna do is for the vets. So the money that was already there for the Endeavour Fund, and then with the idea of the Invictus, which is for vet, and put it together, and that's where he started getting the money. And then additional money was coming from support and things like that. Okay, but if Harry had gone to William first, I truly believe William would have told Harry, this is a bad idea, pretty much discourage him, and then he will rush and take that same idea and go to the board members and say the exact same thing that Harry was just told him, and he sabotaged Harry's plan. and then for him to take credit for it. But if Harry decided, well, let's just say it is what it is now, okay? This is the product of Harry. And if he goes and tries to sabotage that, the same way what happened to Santa Bali, that's the end of William. Alright, true, there's that pointing up, exactly. Like what they did with Heads Together. It was Kate's idea. After it was successful, Prince Harry leaves and the project died. I thought the one carrying the idea carried the vision too. That Heads Together, is that the same one where they took people's information and then gave it to a for-profit? Just look at, is it Shout Out? I think it's the wrong one. I'll show you what I'm thinking about, but I don't think it's Heads Together. The squad, don't forget. Let's see here. The project hasn't died at all. A Google search will give detail. I don't know why people on X who support either side have to post misinformation or outright lies. See, I have to Google, and when I Google the image of when Harry was there, exactly, there's that. Let me go look. Let me pause and go look. What is it? Heads Together. Okay, I'm not gonna read everything, okay? And I put here status of Heads Together. The Heads Together mental health campaign, spearheaded by the Royal Foundation, is no longer a standalone campaign but has evolved into ongoing mental health programs. The campaign, which successfully changed the national conversation on mental health and reduced stigma, has since focused on developing and implementing new mental health programs using digital technologies and supporting partner charities. Okay, so why don't they focus on that instead of, putting different, let me see. Let's put 2025. 2025. Anything new? As of late 2025, the original Heads Together mental health campaign, co-founded by Prince William, the Prince of Wales, and Prince Harry, is largely a historical initiative. The campaign core work is now carried out by the organization and program. However, multiple unrelated groups and events also use the Heads Together name, making it necessary to distinguish them. If I'm not mistaken, when Harry went to the Obama Foundation, and Melody Hobson was interviewing Harry, the way Harry was explaining how this worked, it has to be Harry who started it.
Necessarily beneficial to anybody, but our mental health campaign, Heads Together, back in the UK, is a classic example of where we were able to bring together 8 charities within the mental health sector.
With your mic.
I'm so sorry. No worries, thank you. We were able to bring together 8 mental health charities that have been working in the sector for many, many, many years. But being able to bring them together and say, right, you guys have never sat around a table together and discussed the main issues. What we want to be able to do now is, through our foundation, create a platform in which your expertise and your experience is elevated. And therefore, you tell us what needs to be done around mental health within the UK and globally. And they said, if you can remove the stigma, that makes our life a lot easier. So that's exactly what we did. We tried to remove the stigma and tried to normalize the discussion around mental health.
So in some ways, the past, and that the protocol may have been lending your name and using your name to create a halo around the organization that would benefit it. And it sounds like the younger royals are more about more than just name association, more direct action and involvement. So do you feel you're more hands-on? Is that fair to say?
I think in today's world you have to be. I think you have to be much more hands-on.
So how come they're not, it's a good thing, all right? Harry left it alone. I don't know how they first initiated or presented to the people, okay? I wasn't following the royal family or Harry and Meghan or anything like that. But since I'm reading, they're saying that they say it was Kate's thing. Why doesn't she continue with that instead of baby brain? This thing is already established. So why doesn't she continue and spread it out more? Promote it. That's the word I'm looking for. Promote it a little bit more. Okay? So if it's still in existence, promote it. William can, I don't know, these people, they know how to put people into mental health. in need of mental health. Okay, exactly. There's the laugh here. Let's go to the next tweet. I have to remember to put the link of that article. Next tweet. So if Heads Together is working, so they should focus on that. Next tweet. William, Harry knows it was you. Exactly. Harry may as well have said, "Shut up, William," in his statement. Everyone knows it is William. People are laughing. LOL. I love this for him. Tom Sykes saying, "As much makes me feel wonderful." That's exactly 100% correct. He. People are laughing. Next tweet. Still about the leak. He's wasting so much time on worrying about Harry's thing. So I just found out Heads Together is still in existence. So this is another reason why I think it's Harry who created it. Because Harry has been promoting mental health and many other things that he's involved in. Invictus, what's that thing he's the COO of? Better Up, that's part of mental health as well. So you could see that Heads Up, is that what they call Heads Up? That in the UK, that was under the Royal Foundation, and he left it. So he left the things that were part for the Royal Foundation and things that he's passionate about, let's say the Invictus, and I think Travelers, he created just about the same time he was leaving the UK. So all the things that he created, he took it with him, but the other things under the Royal Foundation, he left them alone. But how come the others are not doing anything with it? Because Better Up, it's almost the same as the what's that thing I was Heads Up in the UK. All right, so they could easily look at what Better Up is doing and then copy it, because they love to copy anyway. Even though what's the one in the UK? Something Together, Heads Together have already been established. There's some sort of a blueprint for it, but if they don't know how to go about it, just look over at Better Up. It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, you could see how much many of these things worth. I don't know. Harry is giving them example after example, and Harry was creating $1 trillion worth of ideas to the institution.
Travellers will to work together on bringing sustainable tourism to the mainstream. Today we are a $3 trillion coalition.
I really don't know why they are taking money from the people when there's Harry who was creating $1 trillion worth of ideas and businesses and things for the royal family, but they neglected it. I don't know, but anyway, Harry left Heads Together behind, but you could see that it's Harry's work, because since he left, I don't know, the others have not promoted. If they were the one who created, who had the idea behind it, they will promote it. Why they will promote it? Because they will know exactly how it works. When Harry went to the Obama Foundation with Melody Hobson, the way he explained it in details, I knew it was his ideas. But anyway, let's get back to the original recording. Focus on that. But instead, someone like that, William, okay, who's trying to, I don't know how, who's running Heads Together, something like that, for mental health. Shouldn't he reduce himself from getting involved into Harry's conversation? Because it seems like he's putting Harry's mental well-being in jeopardy, in need of mental health. Oh my God. Okay, next week. The only thing Charles and company, aka Harry's sibling and liegemen, LBH, are saddened and perplexed about is that Prince Harry's publicly called out their leaks and lies in real time and won't let them leak and lie in peace to tabloid propagandists junkies like Kate below. Okay, what this person said here, let me go into it and I'll step back out. Okay, the palace is understood to be silent. Okay, this is one of the things that I think I highlight. Okay, the palace is understood to be saddened and perplexed by the latest accusation from the Duke of Sussex, in which he suggested that sources close to the king have attempted to sabotage his fragile reconciliation with the king. Report here. All right, so from this article, so in other words, Harry's not letting them lie and get away with it. He'll call them out. And then, this is how crazy these people are. They reverse it. They claim that it's him who's leaking. I really think this is a no-win situation for Harry. Yes, his team will rebuke the lies, but the palace will come back with another version in different media ad infinitum. They have been doing this since at least the days of Diana and have the British media on side. Like I was saying, he just need to ignore them and just forget the thing about Charles. I don't think Charles really need a reconciliation. They just need to create talks for the tabloid to write nonsense. I don't believe Charles is saddened or perplexed. Some a-hole at the palace got caught mouthing off. It got published in a paper and Harry corrected the nonsense. The reason why I think people who works in the palace easily send nonsense to the papers is because they know they're not going to get punished.
Prince Charles also has a legendary temper, as his staff know to their cost. One of his later butlers was Ken Stronach, who sold stories to the press which revealed what his master was like to serve.
Okay, if anyone thinks correcting a lie is accusation, they need to check themselves and stop lying. Amen. Well said. Let's go to the next tweet. This is a video. And then I have one more after this, and then that'll be it. And I'll do a recording tomorrow morning. Alright, the tabloid feed the hatred and the royalists swallow it without thinking. A family that should embody unity chooses rivalry, lies, and silence instead. What was meant to be an example has become a mirror of jealousy, injustice, and contempt. Alright, let's see here. 3 minutes and 6 seconds screenshot.
Are you shocked? Shocked to see Meghan harassed, hunted, humiliated by the British tabloids, attacked by blinded royalists, by white men and women unable to accept that a mixed-race woman has her place? But why are you shocked? This hatred is no surprise. It is inherited, transmitted, engraved in their DNA. Racism, humiliation, contempt, that is their true tradition. The tabloids, these paper vultures, thrive on the destruction of others. They invent, distort, manipulate, and their lies are swallowed whole by royalists and even internal sources who actively fuel the campaign against Meghan and Harry. And worse, even some black women join this lynching, repeating the insults, feeding the hate. Sometimes the enemy of black people is black people themselves, and here it is visible, exposed in broad daylight. Right now, there is a fragile reconciliation.
One of the things we have to be careful online when people are putting their profile image and things like that, sometimes they don't put their real pictures on it. So I will not say it's all black people, okay? But I'm not gonna completely say it's false because I don't know for a fact. But let's continue.
Taking place between Harry and his father, King Charles. And yet there are those trying to destroy it through lies in the British press and through leaks from within the royal family itself. Instead of rebuilding, some fight for popularity, for control, for the power to crush the other. But in a family, it should never be this way. Families are meant to support, to love, to forgive. God forgives, so why can't they? Those who harmed Harry and Meghan should be the first to seek forgiveness. And yet they refuse, choosing hatred over reconciliation. And what about William, the future king, and his wife? Who are supposed to set the example? William acts like a spoiled child, throwing tantrums, displaying an immaturity that sometimes seems beneath even an 11-year-old. The British press exploits this immaturity to build their narratives, and even those around him take advantage of it. But a future king should be a model of dignity, maturity and justice, not a prisoner of jealousy, rivalry and childish pride. A family, especially a royal one, should be a symbol to the world, an example of unity, dignity, and forgiveness. But what do they show instead? Pettiness, rivalries, power games, attacks on those who dare to be popular, free, and loved. They embody division instead of love, hate instead of unity, vengeance instead of forgiveness, lies instead of truth. They act like devils tearing each other down, instead of showing that even at the highest level, family can mean loyalty, reconciliation, and peace. And yet Meghan still stands. Her dignity is stronger than their lives. Her light shines brighter than their darkness. Harry, seeking peace with his father, faces injustice and hatred but continues forward. They can try to destroy everything, but they will never erase the truth. What is unfolding here is not a simple quarrel, it is truth itself, exploding like a nuclear bomb, burning, undeniable, impossible to silence. A family that should be a refuge and an example has instead revealed its true face, choosing hate over unity, rivalry over love, destruction over reconciliation, and lies over truth. Are you shocked?
So there's a music in the back, so I have to be careful. Who should I give credit to? Is there I don't see a name under it. I don't know who created it. Okay, so that's that. You'll be seeing screenshot anyway. Well, this sexy old UK white woman thinks Meghan is great and has done since before she met Harry. Alright, so this is my last tweet here. Alright, so this is the video we saw at the beginning when I first happened on X. LOL, poor waity kitty. Willy said, stop it. Only Jason Knuff or Simon Case can hit me there. Okay, allegedly. Okay, I'm just reading what's there. Phew, the embarrassment. Yeah, it was embarrassing. What? She tried though. It's like, don't touch me. I mean, look at that small little, how do they call this? Trophy. 2 people have to carry that? Oh, these people are just freaking performance. That's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I'm sorry for my last video, which I'm still working on. The audio sucks. Alright, so that is it. Thank you for watching. And the prayer that I'm sending for the Sussexes is, God, please come and everywhere that they go. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
Find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.